Um, Thank you, Irene, for this introduction. And hello, everybody. I'm really grateful for this opportunity to come share our story, our journey. We're one of the newest babies to join the long run and have a long way to go in terms of what we should learn from the community, from its partners, and really from the exposure that we have to all the good work that's being done in the country. Breakaway is an outcome of a love for travel, a passion for textiles, crafts, regional cuisine, which is based on 30 years of my work in these spaces. And I think I've always been interested in getting under the skin of a community to try and get to understand really the microcosm of the community and what makes it work. And going beyond what we otherwise know as a very mainstreamy kind of approach to travel. When we set up over a decade ago, our signature experience was called Beyond the Brochure, which was the whole point was to go off the map and to look for the unknown in the known, or those hidden nuggets that really stay, quietly in the bylanes because, people are rushing their way through trips. Beyond the Brochure over a period of time has become our guiding ethos, and it really defines the nature of the journeys that we run. For all those of you who've been to India, who are inspired by India, who wish to get to India at some point in time, and we know that India is incredible in every which way and also heartbreaking at many levels. India inspires and humbles. India's got so much art and design to offer to the world. And yeah, I mean, we'd love to be able to share all of this with the world as we grow. The craft and textile tours that we run around the country are really an experience of traditions that go back to the 15th century. I mean, there are stories. Every interaction is a story. There are artisan makers in different nooks and crannies in the country and weaving textiles that the world celebrates. Some of these people, are hungry. Most of these people are really hungry for connections, for what we call market linkages. And therein lies a responsibility when we bring people to meeting with these communities. So it's really every trip that you take with us to meet with these communities is a journey into the heart of these communities, is a peek into what makes them tick, and it nurtures our understanding of weaving, of printing, of craft, and really techniques and their historical context that is really shaping India's very contemporary design culture in the world today. Along the way, you meet and get inspired by change leaders. This is Luna Banerjee of Self-Employed Women's Association in Lucknow. She's devoted her life to the empowerment of women, giving them not only meaningful livelihoods, but their own identity. And those of us who know India have worked in India, and I think this is true of communities around the world. Women who are financially independent can change the very fabric of the society that they live in. So what is it that sets us apart? What makes us different? What is it that really draws people to us? I mean, I think what's rare about us is the fact that we're focused on a very authentic, immersive experience, which is the outcome of professional networks. So we have a very sensitive and mindful approach. These are professional networks and relationships that we're leveraging to be able to give people an experience on the ground. And I mean, it's not a staged experience. I mean, I, for one, have a very low threshold for tolerance of staged experiences that the tourism industry today thrives on. What makes us exceptional is our ability to begin with, our ability to really differentiate between the ordinary and the exceptional. And it's not just the difference between good and great. I think to have a nuanced understanding of what differentiates an experience, a conversation, from just another conversation to a really inspiring, motivating conversation is what makes us stand out. And of course, then there is the whole untouched, unexplored perspective. because this comes from the work that one has done over the almost 3 decades, we're able to open doors that most people in the sector don't even know exist. So they can't knock on those doors because they don't know those doors exist. Is really the point. Authenticity is really at the core of what we do, of the conversations we have, of the experiences that we lay out. And there is a spirit of transparency in our dealings. I mean, we introduce people to business owners and to designers and to creators and makers in the hope that over a period of time, there would be, more than one reason to co-create and collaborate with these communities. What got us here is really, I think, an acceptance by these communities. When people trust you and they have faith in you, then they open up their homes, they open up their workshops and their studios in a way that they wouldn't otherwise do. They welcome us, because they know that we have a deeper appreciation of their work and a very, very empathetic and sensitive approach to showcasing their work. We customize our community interactions in a way that they will suit the interest levels of the travelers. We don't believe there is one shoe that fits everybody, right? I mean, there is a general enthusiast, then there is a deep immersive experience seeker, and then there is a third category of people who are crusaders, who are academics, who are scholars, and are looking for a completely different, nuanced experience of the communities they meet, the work that they see. So it's really about engaging with the traveler firsthand and being able to find what it is that will really work for them. And then, because it's all tailor-made to suit their requirements, it's all done to suit the time they have available. Sometimes people are on a work trip into the country and really have only 2 days. I would be very happy to make those 2 days, full of meaningful interactions that will count. There's a conscious decision to keep our group sizes small. I mean, I firmly believe that anything more than 10 to 12 people in an interaction will compromise on the quality of the interaction. So when we have larger groups, we send them off in two different directions in the morning, and they all, visit exactly the same people, just not at the same time. And that works really well because then it allows for a meaningful exchange. And as a group, you don't draw too much attention to yourself, and you're not overwhelming, you know, uh, the artisans and the communities that you're meeting with and talking to. So whether for a large group or a small set, or even just a couple or a solo traveler, our process is centered around conversations with you on your needs, what it is that you're seeking, what it is that you're looking for. And extensive conversations with you will really translate into suggestions from our team. And all that goes into arriving at a very, very bespoke itinerary. That is then a reflection of who you are. It is catering to you and, reflects your personality. One of the other concepts that we curate and that we feel really, really good about is a journey for change that we present as give change a chance. And these are really conversations that, go from travel, which is not just travel, but it's, as the name suggests, this is how you can learn firsthand. How travel does not have to be rich in information and poor in learning, but this is truly learning and a shift. I mean, it moves the needle somewhere deep down, inspiring you and makes you really, really think about the choices you make, about how you choose to live your life. Sustainable interactions with trailblazers and people who've given up, corporate lives and moved into community living. I mean, Kate spoke about, their project, their work at, I think, similar to that, there's loads of people offering, running social enterprises, some working with renewable energy, others working with women's livelihood programs, somebody working with water, someone working on conservation of the forests. And our interactions with these people, these communities really are meant to move you from being a shareholder to a stakeholder in some form or manner. I think what's happened in a post-COVID world, and at least that's been our observation, and many conversations around that, is really to ask questions like, are we offering inclusivity and diversity in our interactions with people as we travel? That puts the onus on the experiences. And it's not just about price. It's not just about the aesthetics. It's not about the creature comforts that you will enjoy as you travel. It's about spending time, interacting, with communities, staying longer, and choosing, one over the other in terms of experiences. And focus is shifting to personalized services and inclusivity, working with local communities, which makes memories to take back, which makes life lessons for young children and young adults who will go back, right back into their lives, into their workspaces, to be able to, you know, learning from travel as they go along. This could even mean meal with a local, and a conversation with them about, their challenges, their lives, their aspirations, and what really, really, they're doing for their bit for the world. As the name suggests, this is really about how you can learn, moving you out of your comfort zone. I mean, Abraham Lincoln once said that those of us who can't leave our present selves at home before we travel ought not to travel at all, ought to stay at home. And I'm a firm believer in that as much. So these trips are really created for those who have an interest in sustainability. They could be believers. They could be on a path which is, a journey towards making lifestyle choices, and they could be crusaders. It's really about, in the city that you're in the place that you're choosing to visit. Um, there are efforts that are being made to show you what people are doing on the ground, the little steps that they're taking towards the planet. Every little drop counts. And to build a sensitivity and empathy towards craft and communities in, let's say, hill and forest communities around the country, that really depend on, some ways, market linkages, the ability to connect with the world and to learn from the world. A lot of this goes back to my work with the social sector, mentoring social enterprises that are choosing to work in some of these spaces. These could be individuals who are re-engineering, you know, um, social and environmental change through interactions with textile and craft enthusiasts, business owners, designers, chefs, also. I mean, foraging and local produce and how that translates into, the food we eat is a conversation that the world is having today. We're able to demonstrate to younger generations in the craft fraternity that there is dignity and sustenance in continuing with the traditions. I mean, in India and in large parts of Southeast Asia, and I would imagine also in Africa, the younger generation does not want to continue with traditional craft forms because they want better paying jobs, they want better lifestyles, they want a better quality of life. And therefore, once the artisans who are today in their 50s and their 60s, once they retire, there is a chance that the craft might just go with them because their children are not particularly interested. So we want to, through these interactions, do our little bit to enable and encourage them to engage in global marketplaces, both ethically and equitably. And there's a lot of work being done on the ground to be able to bring them into the mainstream, to be able to encourage them to start to participate in, uh, you know, global commerce. We want to be able to bridge the gap between the end consumer and the artisan in being able to forge, in being able to make introductions. We're able to create market linkages through direct introductions. And hopefully these will foster dialogues, for business over a period of time. Our trips are led by domain experts, people who worked with communities on the ground and have worked with them individually and are able to add value to your experience of where you're at, to the people you meet, with the people you meet and the places you visit. And these could be multifaceted domain experts who are intrepid travelers in themselves, and they lead our trips around the country. The way forward for us is really to continue to offer bespoke itineraries to individual travelers, immersive experience seekers, and to universities and scholars alike. We curate culinary, immersions for institutes like the Culinary Institute of America that comes to us once a year. We're working with international universities who offer an overseas study program in India, curating their time in India and helping them work on civic engagement projects with social enterprises on the ground. We'd like to be able to do more and more of that. We want to be able to tie up with boutique experiential travel operators around the world who are interested in India and who have audiences that are keen on coming to India. We want to be able to find that tribe, that sorority, with a collaborative mindset, and that really is reason why we're here today at the long run, being introduced to the community and wanting to learn from each one of you and the experiences that you've had in building, in your journey with building your ventures. We want to strengthen our network, partnering with like-minded organizations committed to the 4Cs, and I'm hoping over a period of time we'll be able to come back with, stories around, what it is that we've been able to demonstrate impact at every level as far as the 4Cs are concerned. We want to collaborate with thinking and responsible boutique hotels in the country, in India. Yeah, I know, a lot of interest in travel in India with boutique properties and, focused on ecotourism, on luxury experiences in this space. We want to be able to curate immersive experiences, for their guests. So I'm, happy to take questions here. Please feel free to connect with us on email, through the website, and through the Long Run Circle.